huge celebration and holiday time in the United States. And, that day, if we don't practice our social distancing, within 1 or 2 weeks after that, you're going to see a surge, just like Canada is right now. It's funny, we had our Thanksgiving weekend about 3 weeks ago, and you're seeing the ramp up in cases now. So it's a proven fact that social distancing and really practicing all the protocol is a key thing. And I sort of hate to be the bad guy with all this news, but that's realistic. And if you don't hear exactly the way that it is, when we can't expect you to put corrective measures in place. Public fatigue is definitely impacting our world. The lack of patience is evident. Frustration is rising. Even toilet paper is back in short demand now. People are going into stores in droves with carts full of toilet paper. COVID-19 is nothing to do with a digestive tract issue of any sort. So why anyone would need toilet paper, other than maybe if they just can't get out and get it down the road. But I see people going with 5 to 10 cases of it. And it's just not required, in my opinion. Try to be patient, try to be kind with one another. We always talk about the importance of ordering disinfectants and sanitizers. At Charlotte, we still have an ample supply of quats, but believe me, it's starting to raise flags with us here. We're bringing in as much raw material as we can, whether it's trigger sprayers or flip caps or bottles or corrugate packaging, whatever it may be. We've put major advancements in our assembly with automated cappers and label machines that are all about faster efficiency, pail fillers, everything else. We're going a lot, new tanks, mixers, everything. We're reinvesting in the care of every single one of you watching the webinar today and every one of our customers across the world. It's simply the right thing to do, because we've set out from day one, our mission is to really lower the risk of an outbreak and really provide you with cleaner, safer facilities. Looking ahead, we have to do our part, right? We just cannot emphasize, near as much that we must do our part here. So with that opening remarks being said, let's move on to hopefully some more positive things, and away we'll go there. So, that's the wrong screen there. We're up there. We start from the beginning. Just a sec here. I got it right here. Sorry about that. Okay, so today, Friday, October 23rd, 1 o'clock EST time. What's good here today is you as an audience have asked us for Masquith and I generally do our open mic and things, and that's been a very positive experience. But we've started adding in a few guest speakers and things. And today we've got Ty Huffer with us. He's president of a USA National Group Purchasing Organization, and I thought we'd get a real nice pandemic perspective from him. So that we have as a pre-taped video towards the end here, and that'll be exciting getting his perspective. And I believe he's out of the Atlanta areas where he is. Me, for those, we have about 51 new registrants today. So my name is Jim Fleeler, Vice President of Sales for Canada for Charlotte Products. I've been around about 40 years, continue to learn every day. And believe me, we are working on so much innovation behind the scene of new disinfectants, new delivery methods, new ways that we can really transfer our knowledge to you and really make it a safer place there. And every single one of us are just as excited, and it's a driving force and why we've been so successful for all of those years there. So, that's a little bit about me as far as that goes. This week's discussions, obviously cleaning protocols that lower the risk of an outbreak. This is bi-weekly. Our next one is actually November the 6th. Believe that, November already. And our special guest there, I've talked to, he's the president of the United Group. And that is, if you remember, we had Giselle Gertran on about 3 weeks ago or so. She's the Canadian president of the Ballpex organization. So that's a group of very similar members that do industrial packaging and food service and Jan-San and disposal and safety markets. And so we had her on talking about the Canadian market, and we thought it would be great to get Ty on and talk about the American marketplace as well. He's got over 26 years in industry experience. Great guy to listen to, very informative, and it's nice to get a different perspective across North America, because Charlotte Products is a North American company. Okay, so we service everybody in North America, plus overseas, plus in Europe and things like that as well, through the Caribbean. So maybe I can go to Barbados one day and do a video or something like that, you know, with somebody from there to get a perspective there. So we're really going to look at a pandemic discussion in that manner from their organization. Okay, this is a new article that came out last week from the CDC, so the Center for Disease Control. And really a nice snapshot of how COVID-19 spreads, okay? And there's a nice link down below that you can click on and it'll take you to it for the documentation. But what the Center for Disease Control is saying is COVID-19 spreads very easily from person to person. Okay, it also is most commonly spread during close contact, right? So that's where social distancing comes in. That's where staying away from people comes into it. Okay, it also can sometimes be spread by airborne transmission. In fact, in most cases, it is. As a matter of fact, we talked about it before, where it's a droplet-based, you know, program. You know, so starting at the top and falling to horizontal surfaces. So if we were going to give you one tip about your cleaning and disinfecting protocol, that is look at possibilities where anything airborne can actually travel from the top down to a horizontal surface, right? The same thing, I know we talked about it a little bit before. On your residential side, your house, your condo, your townhouse, your cottage, whatever, change those furnace filters, right? Make sure you're changing them on a regular basis, because airborne transmission comes through the air. You know, see, that'll actually slow it down, prevent it, eliminate it. So the CDC is really saying this, and there's more detail when you get into this particular link. Spreads commonly through contact with contaminated surfaces. When you touch a surface, I've just left touching a surface and you come to it, that's a perfect example. A door handle, a door knob, a handle, a sink for a sink faucet, a toilet, a urinal flusher, it doesn't matter. The coffee pot handle, the refrigerator handle, it doesn't matter. Contaminated surfaces, and that's just those hand contact points we talk about. The other thing is a special note is it rarely spreads between people and animals. Okay, which is a really good thing, you know, for those of you that have pets and things. I mean, the risk is lower. So protect yourself and others. Arm yourself with this kind of information. This is brand new from the CDC. There's the link below, and I would encourage you to certainly look at that and teach yourselves, your family, your children, and all your coworkers as well. Pass it off to HR departments. This slide here, we always talk about this constantly. We address hundreds of these questions. I know it sounds maybe a little like a broken record here, but this is our largest area of failure. These is really the 5 disinfectant steps for secure spaces and lowering the risk. Always use a registered disinfectant. Make sure it's on the registration list with Health Canada and the EPA to address SARS-CoV-2, COVID-19, human coronavirus, SARS, whatever. Make sure that those claims are on there. Make sure you understand the label. For the first time ever, we're getting more calls about the risks written in SDS sheets, as a matter of fact, about the warnings, right? And that's actually good news, right? Because it allows us a chance to educate the public to say, look, these are serious products that you actually need to follow the protocol. And like I've often said, if you go to the drugstore and you get a prescription drug and you actually look at the warnings on that, there's a sheet of paper about 7 pages long. And if you look at that, you probably would be hesitant to take the pill. And it's really there so you are aware of any kind of issues or side effects or liability. It's there for your protection. It's not there to scare you, okay? You know, always pre-clean those surfaces. It doesn't necessarily have to be a disinfectant unless infection control dictates that it needs to be, but a good quality cleaner will be great. Less money, you know, more sustainable, all of these particular things, probably clean better and things, and then disinfect. Apply your disinfectant, respect the dwell time, and it varies on the label, right? And one thing that I can tell you, and I'll point it out here, our Enviro Solutions ES15, okay, on the label, and this came out of a customer actually asking, it has a dwell time of 5 minutes, but it also has for full disinfectant, but it also has a dwell time for 5 seconds with a sanitizing claim, okay, which is amazing. So how do you find that out? You read the actual label. You know, so when you are around contact points, Obviously, potable water rinse if you're in food contact areas and things like that, or preschool toys. So if you follow those, you'll be in good shape without question. So before we go to the video, which this is our 27th webinar, we're planning on doing these all year long, every 2 weeks there, through before Christmas, after Christmas, those things, they are on our websites for sure. The next one is Friday, November the 6th at 1 o'clock, and we'll have more COVID-19 updates there. But what we've also got our special guest, and we're really proud of this as well, is we've got Rita Soares. She's the manager of support services at University Health Network in Toronto, which is TGH, or Toronto General Hospital, and things, and the group of hospitals downtown. She's been a long time, we've had a long time relationship with Rita. Outstanding control over that hospital network that she controls, and she runs all of the cleaning components, the whole entire staff of that organization. And it'll be great hearing for her as to what are the challenges in a very busy, well-respected, top-notch healthcare hospital these days. So that'll be very interesting. We'll have a Q&A there. So with that being said, thank you for visiting today. We're going to switch to the video there, and we'll see you back on November the 6th. So thank you. #23rd. Welcome to the question and answer period again. And we're honored today to have Mr. Ty Huffer, who's the president of the United Group, which is a group purchasing organization out of the United States. And it was all of our customers have been really asking, for different panelists that can come in and give us a perspective of COVID-19 and how it's affecting their businesses, and really what are the changes they've been faced with, the challenges, their learnings, and all of those kinds of things there. So Ty, welcome. Maybe take a minute and introduce yourself and tell us who you are and what you do.
Thanks, Jim, for having me. I appreciate that. Yeah, my name is Ty Huffer. I am the current president of the United Group, and we are one of the largest national buying groups in the United States for the Jansan food service and packaging, as well as safety markets. I've been with the United Group since 2014. In my prior life, I was on the manufacturing side for close to 20 years. So I've kind of been able to wear both hats, from the manufacturing side as well as the distribution side. And just very honored to be a part of the webinar today, and part of have Charlotte as one of our preferred suppliers.
Yeah, that's great. Well, welcome. We want to certainly take the time and thank you. We know your time is valuable in the whole work. So COVID-19, all of a sudden this spring, I guess March period of 2020, it came in like a freight train, affecting us. What kinds of things have you noticed that's affected your business and your members in the last 6 months since it arrived?
Well, Jim, it's kind of like, as you said, it's everybody needs to adapt and adjust and just learn on the fly, because what you knew was not the normal, and things change quickly. So a lot of our members that never had to worry about, protective gowns and face masks and things like that, all of a sudden were thrusted into that industry of, hey, can you find me this? Can you find me these masks? Can you find me a KN95 mask? Or I need some disinfectant. And then, so it was really, really kind of earth-shattering for our folks, because they were not used to having that type of quantities that were needed by their end customers, because certainly nobody knew what to expect in March of 2020 moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. What do you think the most, the largest challenge would have been for your members? Say in food packaging, what would their largest challenge be, for instance, do you think?
Well, the food packaging folks, what they had to do again was adjust on the fly, because if the majority of their business was white tablecloth
Yeah.
business, what those folks were shut down, as we all know, and now they had to reinvent themselves and say, okay, we have to talk to a restaurant who's normally white tablecloth about, can you do takeout?
Yeah.
And it's very difficult if you're a white tablecloth high-end steak restaurant. Do you want to put a nice filet into a plastic takeout so you can survive? So that being said, a lot of our members that were strictly primarily food service and food service disposable and packaging, they actually had to reinvent themselves and look at their business and now get into more Jansan products. They cannot fully survive by selling food service packaging. So they had to look at some of our suppliers and get into chemicals, get into can liners, get into towel and tissue and things like that. So now they can offer those types of items to their customers so they can be around to survive.
Yeah. It really is a learn and adapt on the fly. I mean, as we were hit, because we didn't really know. I mean, we've had infectious diseases before. We've had Ebola, and we've had Zika, we've had SARS, we've had, everything under the sun we've had, and we've always come out of it stronger. And it's generally, from what I reconcile, it's been a shorter duration. But COVID seems to be here and gaining more traction. If you follow the curve, and then we sort of got control of it and brought the curve down, and then all of a sudden, then it started to spike again. And now I even heard as recent as yesterday, actually, some of them are calling it a twindemic. Which means phase 1 and phase 2, or wave 1 and wave 2. Now they're even talking about a third wave, and this one hasn't even started yet. For sure, definitely. So do you think your members would have picked up a lot of new business and new opportunity in the field in general? What's your thought there?
No, I know that our members are kind of broken down into the 4 segments. As I said, we have 350 member stockholders, and they concentrate in Jansan, food service, disposable, packaging, and some safety. Most of our members are multi-segment folks, Jim. So they're primarily maybe Jansan, but they also have packaging, and they probably have some food service. Very few of our folks are just strictly, one single, line of distribution. Our Jansan folks have had tremendous success during this pandemic, because they have the items that everybody needs. The disinfectants, from Charlotte, the disinfectant wipes, things like that everybody needs. The biggest issue our folks have come up with is the allocation of products and meeting the demand of the end users. Specifically, whether it's in nitrile gloves or vinyl gloves or disinfectant wipes or something along those lines. It's just the customer base, the end user customers are demanding more, and our members are getting them what they can get. And it's kind of what when I've reached out to suppliers and spoken to them about the situations that they are in regarding allocation of products and moving forward, is one of the things that I have asked them, and they've been great about it, is the fact that I said, I only ask you to treat our members fair. Yeah. Now, fair does not mean equal, but just treat them fair. Yeah. And 99% of our suppliers have done that, and they have been great partners. And I think that's what is going to help make everybody better when we get to the end of this, is the relationships that have been built and the partnerships that have been built between the suppliers and the distributors for these types of items.
Yeah. So is it fair to say that your members would have really helped lower the anxiety level of some of their customers throughout this whole situation we've been in? How well do you think they've handled that?
Yeah, I think they have, because one of the things is our members now have become true professionals. You have got to lean on the folks that have the knowledge. Anybody can go on Amazon and buy a case of toilet paper or buy, a disinfectant, but you have to be able to have knowledge in that field and knowledge in the industry that you are using the proper product for the application that they need to help secure and make the safety of the folks around them that are entering their facilities. There's the classrooms are opening back up, but the office buildings are still not where they need to be. But still, you've got to make sure that you ensure the safety of the people that are coming into your building. And our folks do a great job of that, of helping educate their members. And you always have to be a source and have a value, be a value added seller.
Yeah, for sure. Well said, for sure. At Charlotte, our mission without COVID, before COVID, was really value add and really lowering that risk of an outbreak. And we just, through COVID, we've had a chance to amplify that, for sure. So also with us there today is we have Jeff Swantes with us. He's our Vice President of Sales for the United States marketplace there. Welcome, Jeff. You've been there listening. How about you? What are your learnings from COVID-19?
Well, thanks, Jim. I appreciate it. Number 27, and I'm finally on the show. So thanks for having us here. And Todd, thank you for being here as well. It's been, really the last 6 months or so that we've gone through these episodes. The biggest piece was, just as Ty said, the knowledge transfer. That is the biggest piece, because, the allocation of products, we had a little philosophy at Charlotte where we were going to get, more people, less products. Obviously, in the opportunity when a pandemic strikes, people are looking for massive amounts of products, and we want to make sure that we took care of all of our members. And that was the big piece. And we've really, really grown some great relationships and grown our business as well. And I was going to ask Ty, he's got 350 business partners and distributors across the U.S. And I'm curious, during this time, did you see or did you grow your business or pick up additional members because of the pandemic, Ty?
No, we actually had picked up a couple members before in January and February. But after that, we did not pick up any new distributor members. We did pick up 8 new preferred suppliers, and those were suppliers that were items that quite honestly, I never would have picked up in the past. Safety providers for KN95 masks, some of the folks that have electrostatic sprayers, and things like that were, something that was just a second thought, in the past. But now we have picked those up. We've also picked up a couple people on the food service side with the earth-friendly disposable takeout items. Again, with the restaurants transitioning more and more to the takeout side, particular parts of the country needed to have that green, earth-friendly products. Styrofoam is no longer acceptable in those spots. So in order to give our members that opportunity, we had to bring some of those folks in. So member-wise, we did not. We were concentrating a lot on helping our current members succeed. But supplier side, we did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you think that business will carry on, those new partnerships will carry on past when COVID-19 ever decides to leave our side, or do you think that relationships will carry on?
Yeah, absolutely, Jim. I think we have come into the new, I hate to use this term, the new normal, because what was the old normal? I knew some people that weren't very normal. One of the guys that you got sitting there in a blue shirt, but we'll talk about that later. So I think, again, there's a complete different mindset of how people are going to go to business and continue to grow and refer. And I also think it's a great opportunity for us in our industry to be the experts. in the past, it was like, oh, okay, I've just got a solution. I've just got a disinfectant, or I've just got, this is going to buff my floor, this, that, whatever. So now, it gives our members and you at Charlotte the opportunity to go out and be the advocate that we were, and I think it's also going to help our organizations, ISSA, more, and folks like that, where we become more of an information access and people use us for things that we need for to help ensure the safety.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's, I know what it's done for us at Charlotte. I know what it's done for the ISSA. It just basically it's elevated us to a new level of priority and recognition, I guess it is, right? You think about our janitors and our custodians across North America, they're really our first line of defense when it comes to lowering the risk of an outbreak, offering clean, safe facilities, safe, clean restaurants, sanitized and things. And I think overall, it's just going to really help us, without doubt there. And you talked about product allocations and stuff. And Jeff, if you remember us, every morning at 10 o'clock, we had an allocation meeting. And our goal was always to make sure our customers all got something. They may not have got what they wanted, but they certainly got something. And I'll tell you, it was a masterful thing we had to do to really learn on the fly, Jeff. I think you'll agree, to actually make sure that our customers got something without question there.
It was a coordinated effect there. You had to streamline, and we've got some great production partners that were able to listen to the demands. There was no way you were going to meet those. It was unlimited. The faucet was open, but to make sure that you coordinated through the line to get every single customer something to stay in business that they needed. I just think that really developed a lot of great relationships throughout this, because when you're really stressed in times like this, you kind of find out who your friends are. And we made some really, really good partnerships through that piece. But it was a massive team effort. We had daily, sometimes twice daily, conference calls throughout that period, and fared very well. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. So Ty, what do you think? Has innovation been introduced during COVID-19 from your members? Have they been fairly innovative, bringing? You brought in some earth-friendly packaging to obviously the food service people. Anything else that rings a bell as far as innovation? Yeah,
we've actually. We already had a previous relationship with Victory Sprayer. I'm sure if you guys are familiar with them or not, the electrostatic sprayers. They got caught the same way that everybody else did, with product not being able to be produced and lack of. And again, obviously that's a big item where people were being attracted to that. So we brought in some UV sprayers and some UL sprayers, things that are innovative along those lines, where we never would have brought those in the past. Right. We've also brought in a company, one of your fellow Canadians, that they do standalone hand washing and sanitize stations. Okay. So to help increase the number of places where you can continue to wash your hands. If there's only a certain number of sinks, these can be out in certain areas, and they're really an innovative product where they've got the sink, they've got the sanitizer, they've got the soap, and they have the towel dispenser as well. So you can use the water and wash your hands, and you don't have to be enclosed in the restroom, or if there's not enough areas for that. So those are some of the things that we've brought up, just kind of help in the cleaning and hygiene and areas and things like that. So we've been very, very open in looking at anything and everything that we can. We always look at things. We don't like to be duplicates when we look at suppliers coming into our group, but we like to look at somebody who's going to be unique and is going to give our members something that the advantage in the marketplace where no other group or no other individual may have. So we're looking at innovative things like that. We think we were able to find some and partner with some people during the pandemic that will really help us out. in the future. So
good, excellent. And I, you know what? It's a sad thing, COVID-19. It's devastating. There's no question. But I've always said, I think when we come out of it, we'll come out of it stronger on the other side. And our learnings, just as you said there, tying off of what you just said there, is really learning those new things, those new value tools of the trade to really help lower the risk is going to help every single one of us. I'm a big fan in coaching and motivating and building morale of our janitors and our custodians across the country. I mean, how do you motivate someone to get out of bed and go to work and clean up somebody else's mess in regular times, let alone with a health risk like you could contract, COVID-19. So, I mean, obviously medals should go all around for those particular people because they're really lifesavers without question, but they can't survive without people like you and your membership, Ty, because they rely on you for that expertise. And I really think the demand for that deep specialist in that facility, regardless of the type of facility it is, all 4 of your classes and whatever is going to really rise to the top. And I think that'll bode well, in the future without question there. So Jeff, how about you? Any other questions or anything for Ty while we're here?
Yeah, I would just think with when we talk about innovation, but almost like how do we, the new normal, we talk about how we do business in the future. I mean, the 3 of us on this call talk about how many miles we travel, how many face-to-face interactions, and really the technology piece has come in with the Zoom meetings and the Google Meet, and I can't tell you how many transfer of knowledge sales meetings we've done that way with different limitations in different parts of the country. How has that changed the way you and your members are going to market, or how they do business with some of the restrictions as we get through the pandemic?
Well, good question, Jeff, because again, our business is a face-to-face business. And it is, you have to be that person that is going to be the expert and show you the demonstration of how to put the product in place, how to use it. And again, from my standpoint of being the president of the United Group, I have to be in front of prospective new members. Because if you're going to entrust your business with me, the least I can do is sit across the table from you and tell you what we're all about and do on a face-to-face. That's kind of hard nowadays. We haven't been able to do that with the Zoom, but we'll get back to that. And again, that is kind of where we differentiate, because all of our members are independent distributors.
Mm-hmm.
We do not have any big box people. We're all independents. And as we know, the independent Jan/San distributor in the country, the numbers are shrinking. And so there is fewer of them, but yet they're the backbone of the cleaning industry and the distribution side of where they go. So we have to be able to support them with new programs, innovative products, and help them get to where they need to be supportive of the customer. And we do that with our preferred suppliers partnership. We can't. I'm a big advocate, as I said, when I was on the manufacturing side, I was a big advocate of going out with the distributor sales reps and going to a customer and demoing stuff and showing them, because I think that shows them that this is a true partnership between all 3. And one of the things that we express ourselves with as a United Group is I have a philosophy of, I say we're a 3-legged chair. And each leg is made up of one of the different parts. One leg is our preferred suppliers, one leg is our members, and one leg is our home office. If any one of those legs is not sturdy, that chair is going to fall. Yeah. And we need all 3 of them working together for us all to be successful. Yeah. And that's what I think it's going to be more important moving forward, is now you're going to have to be able to trust that individual with the products that you're going to put in your facility. And you have to trust that individual that what they're telling you is the proper product that you're going to put in there for the application that you need.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. In the Canadian market, we've had an array of these wonder products come on the market, these magical, they solve all the issues. The disinfectants, for instance, with knives and spears on surfaces that puncture cells, and they leave a residual behind for years that won't allow you to promote the growth of something. I mean, smoke and mirror stuff there, really. I mean, have you got that? Have you noticed that in your marketplace across the U.S. as well?
We have not. We have not noticed that. I just have noticed that there's an abundance of people selling hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
Everybody is selling some hand sanitizer. We had a lot of people come to our, contact me and request that they would like to be a part of the group. And we turned down a lot of them because we know that we feel that we have partnered with the right partners moving forward in all of our items, that we don't need to go with a fly-by-night if somebody is just producing, some sort of hand sanitizer. So
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the FDA has called back, I think, recalled about 200 companies, their licenses for doing. I mean, some of the hand sanitizers smelt like tequila and petroleum, and I mean, they try to cover it up with aloe and eucalyptus and lemon and orange and everything else there, and it's been a crazy world. But that usually separates itself there for sure. So I'm just looking at the clock here, and we're just about out of time here today. Any closing remarks from you, Ty? It's been an absolute pleasure having you on. I think we'd like to have you on again there in a future episode if we can talk you into it. Any closing remarks from your standpoint?
Well, Jim, be careful what you wish for. But again, I seriously, thank you for having me. It was my honor to be here. We value Charlotte Products as a preferred supplier with the United Group. You guys are going to be able to help us move forward through this pandemic and in the future. And I know our members are excited, and everybody's going to get through this. And we just have to think positive and work together as a team, and we will get to the other side of this. So again, thank you, and thank Jeff, and I appreciate it, and hope to speak with you all soon.
Yeah, that's great. Jeff, how about you? Any closing remarks for you?
No, really, I appreciate, Ty, you being here. Jim, for all you do. These are very, very educational. We hear it all the time about how our customers really enjoy these. And you don't have to take the whole 45 minutes to an hour, but you can take a 15-minute snippet out of it and really transfer that and share. But hey, it wouldn't be a webinar without mentioning the hand sanitizer and Asquith's famous words that say, stay safe and wash your hands.
Yeah, there's no question. Well, Ty, just on behalf of the Charlotte Group, for sure, North America, worldwide, I'd like to just personally reach out and thank you. We really appreciate you being on here and respect your opinions in the industry, the cleaning industry and food service, packaging, safety industry that we're in, and thank every single one of your members for listening. And Jeff, make sure that he's got the webinar links for all the webinars, and we'll go from there. So everybody, again, thank you. Stay safe. And with that, make sure to wash your hands, practice social distancing, use alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Good stuff. Our Serve Clean brand is a great one. And just stay safe. Absolutely stay safe. Thank you very much.
Thank you.